Okay, so I feel almost embarrassed to talk again. But originally it was my director, Giuseppe Abamonte, who was supposed to be here. But unfortunately, as I think half of Europe, he's sick, so he couldn't join us. And so I will not be very long because I decided not to read his speech because he's a director. It was the speech of a director. And I'm not a director, so I think I can still allow myself to be a little bit informal. So I will simply thank you and give a bit of a sum up, which is not a real sum up, because as always, when you are asked to summarize something, it's very difficult to do it fully objectively. I think that each of us may have a different perception of what happened in these 2 days. So I will try to tell you what I got, what I take with me home, and that I think will be, in any case, very, very useful in the context of the REFIT exercise. I think that there was a lot of convergence, and that in many of the different panels, very diverse things were discussed, and that there were issues that were supposed to be discussed in a panel that were being discussed in another panel, and I think that's normal and was expected. It shows that this is a delicate exercise, and that whatever you touch may have an impact in another part of the directive or of the debate. As far as the scope of the directive is concerned, this is a panel where I was participating. It's interesting to see that many ideas and reflections came from the panelists, but that as far as the audience is concerned, most of the questions related to other things like country of origin, the Russian channels, and that at the end of the day, the debate on whether the directive should be extended to other fields came in other panels like the one on findability, plurality and values, and this one we had now on graduated approach. As far as the country of origin is concerned, I hope I will not be biased in what is the perception I got, but I have the feeling that the debate is evolving, and that more and more we are realizing that there might be issues in how this principle is being applied in certain fields, but that the principle as such, in every debate we have had yesterday and today, is praised, and basically I didn't hear anybody, but maybe there were silent disagreements, I don't know, but I didn't hear anybody putting the principle as such into question, and that is something I take certainly back home. Of course, there were issues raised on how it is being applied in certain fields, and the issues related very much to the Russian channels issue, let's mention it as it is, promotion of European works, alcohol advertising, and it is my feeling that we will need to look at these issues and see whether there is really an issue, if yes, if they need to be fixed, and how. But that does not necessarily imply to throw away everything, and in particular the principle as such. As regards the panel on the independence of regulators, I was not there, but what I've heard is that it was very interesting, and that in fact the debate was much beyond maybe of what we are discussing right now in the context of the REFIT exercise, because we are basically going back to what we tried some years ago in the last review, which, let's say openly, the Commission tried to have something, to have an article dealing with independence. And apparently the debate was much beyond that, and saying, well, and how this could work. So basically, the need for independence was taken for granted, which is, of course, something good to hear. As regards the panel on standards, I was not there either because I was in a parallel panel, but what I've heard is that the debate coincides very much with the results of the Green Paper, which is that the majority basically is not asking for a standard at European level, but that there was a lot of debate on real issues that are happening, but that the solution might not necessarily be that. I've heard that there was a lot of discussion on copyright. Well, I think that I was surprised that this was not coming more often, but apparently it happened in that panel. As regards the panel on findability, where I was present and moderating, I think that there are clearly 2 points of view that are very different. People are in favor of introducing something in the legislation on findability, others think that this is not necessary. And among those that think that something should be done, well, there is the idea that this could come in the AVMSD, and well, there is also the idea that it could be somewhere else. So at least it helped to clarify the different positions, and I think it was very interesting, at least from the point of view of the Commission, to see that it's not only a matter of setting a principle, but that there are a lot of practicalities that we will need to think of if this ever happens. And they were raised by many of you, yes, but how would you apply it in this case, or what would be the impact here and there? And all this is, of course, very useful. As far as the panels of today, the plurality and values, again, extremely interesting. And I think here again it's always a pleasure to hear these debates, because there is a lot of convergence on an agreement on what are the issues and the need to preserve media pluralism and media freedom. I don't think anybody disagrees with that, but we always reach a point which is what should be done and at what level. And this is where always we reach the conclusion that there might be some wishes, but there's also a reality. And we normally tend to end up these debates on that tone. Then on the last panel was very interesting as well. I think that also there is a lot of debate. It was interesting to see whether there is competition or competition. And should there be a level playing field? Should it be up or down, leverage of regulation? And of course, there was no agreement, there are different views, but something that I think was very interesting and that is very reassuring is that there is agreement on the fact that there are some values at EU level that are very important and that should be protected, like protection of minors, accessibility, these things were mentioned, and even an agreement that something has to be done. Of course, the disagreement comes in what should be done, and for some people there should be more regulation, for other people self and co-regulation is in fact the answer. But the debate was very interesting, and I think it's interesting that even when you see disagreement, you see agreement on the values. And I think on this positive tone, I'm going to finish my intervention. I would like to thank you all, of course, the Latvian presidency for organizing the event, but also all of you for actively participating. As I was saying yesterday in a bilateral level to many of you, from my point of view, it has been extremely useful. We have had a lot of debates since the Green Paper, but I always had the impression that they were at a very principle high level and that we were not coming to concrete. And I know it's my obsession, and give me examples and tell me what is really the impact of what you are saying and how could this be implemented. And I think that in these 2 days, we have reached that level. And this is, of course, what we will need in the coming months if we want to do a proper refit and impact assessment exercise. So thank you very much to all of you.
Cienījamās kolēģis, godātie kolēģi, likumdevējs parlaments ir uzdevis Nacionālajai elektronisko plašsaziņas līdzekļu padomei, tātad Latvijas audiovizuālo mediju pakalpojumu regulātoram, pārstāvēt sabiedrības intereses elektronisko plašsaziņas līdzekļu jomā. Tādēļ, kad iecerējām šo konferenci, inicējām šo konferenci, mēs pirmām kārtām gribējām uzdot jautājumu, vai pašreizējais regulējums Eiropas Savienībā audiovizuālo mediju pakalpojumu jomā sasniedz savus mērķus. Un tikai tad domāt tālāk, vai un kas ir maināms šajā regulējumā, ņemot vērā, ka mums Eiropas Savienībā ir kopīgas problēmas, kurām ir vajadzīgi arī kopīgi risinājumi, un tieši risinājumi arī audiovizuālo mediju pakalpojumu regulējumā. Un mēs gribējām atgādināt ar konferences virsrakstu, kas tad vispār ir šī regulējuma mērķis. Un tas ir stiprināt Eiropas audiovizuālo mediju tirgu, un tiešām ar uzsvaru uz Eiropas. Tātad, zināmā mērā, mēs dodam priekšroku tiem spēlētājiem, kas darbojas šeit, kas producē šeit, kas veido saturu šeit, Eiropas Savienībā. Un tātad es domāju, ka šis mērķis būtu jāsasniedz arī turpmāk. Un otrs ir, protams, Eiropas identitāte. Un te es gribētu uzsvērt arī tādas vērtības kā demokrātiju, kā tiesiskumu, kā cilvēku cieņu, kuras mums ir jāspēj aizsargāt efektīvā un solidārā veidā, tātad kopīgi risinot kopīgās problēmas. Un ja mēs runājam pavisam konkrēti, ir divi tādi punkti, divi mērķi, kuri ir jāsasniedz. Tas ir Eiropas audiovizuālo darbu īpatsvars, vairāk nekā 50% ir jābūt tātad tajās programmās, kas atrodas Eiropas Savienības jurisdikcijā. Un direktīvas mērķis eksplicīti izteikts ir arī nepieļaut naida kurināšanu pēc nacionālās vai kādas citas pazīmes. Un tad ir jautājums, cik efektīvi un solidāri mēs esam šo mērķu sasniegšanā. Man radās iespējas, ka mēs atzinām šajās dienās, ka nevienmēr, it īpaši attiecībā uz de facto trešo valstu programmu piedāvājumiem, mēs šos mērķus sasniedzam. Un iezīmējās šķiet kopīgas atziņas par problēmām un risinājumiem. Es mēģināšu pateikt, ko es saskatīju, un būs arī vēl kopīgs konferences ziņojums, kur būs aptverošāks ieskats par mūsu kopīgajām atziņām. Uzreiz gribu arī pateikt, ka pievienojos iepriekš teiktajām, ka attiecībā uz principiem, uz mērķiem neizklausījās, ka mums būtu kaut kas jāmaina. Jautājums ir tiešām par precīzāku regulējumu šo mērķu sasniegšanai. Viens, kas noteikti iezīmējās, ka acīm redzot ir jātuvina regulējums lineāriem un nelineāriem pakalpojumiem, tātad, kad audiovizuālais saturs tiek izplatīts būtībā vienalga vai lineārā vai nelineārā veidā. Otrs, protams, lai sasniegtu tos mērķus gan Eiropas audiovizuālo darbu īpatsvaru Eiropas jurisdikcijā esošajās programmās, gan arī nepieļautu naida kurināšanu, ir nepieciešams efektīvs monitorings. Un tas ir regulātoru uzdevums panākt, lai šie mērķi tiktu sasniegti. Un tieši jāsaka, ka trešo valstu programmu gadījumos, de facto, sacīsim, trešo valstu programmu gadījumos, nevienmēr, kā mēs atzinām kopīgi vakar, šodien, nevienmēr šie mērķi tiek sasniegti. Un trešais, kas ir ļoti būtiski, ka līdzinējā pašreizējā direktīva nav acīm redzot veidota ārkārtas situācijām. Eiropas Savienība ir Nobela miera prēmijas laureāte, un tajā laikā, kad tapa pašreizējā direktīva, mēs neviens nevarējām iedomāties, ka šeit pat netālu no Eiropas Savienības austrumu robežas sāksies karš, un ka programmas, kas faktiski tiek izmantotas kā informācijas kara instrumenti šajā karā, piedalīsies Eiropas Savienības audiovizuālo mediju tirgu, pelnīs naudu faktiski ar naida kurināšanu. Un tas konkrēti tātad ir Baltijas valstu teritorijās notiek, it īpaši, jo šeit ir arī attiecīgās auditorijas, kas lieto televīzijas krievu valodā, bet es gribu uzsvērt vēlreiz, tā nav specifiska Baltijas problēma, tā ir Eiropas kopīgā problēma. Ja mēs uzskatām, ka mums ir kopīgi mērķi, arī aizstāvēt demokrātiju, aizstāvēt cilvēku cieņu, tad mēs nedrīkstam pieļaut naida kurināšanu pēc nacionālās vai kaut kādām citām pazīmēm. Mums tas ir efektīvi un solidārā veidā jānovērš, balstoties tieši arī uz Eiropas Savienības konstitucionālajiem līgumiem, par ko arī šajā konferencē tika pamatoti atgādināts. Es gribu pateikt lielu paldies visiem, kas piedalījās šīs konferences rīkošanā un atbalstīšanā, sākot ar kultūras ministriju, ar prezidentūras sekretariātu, Eiropas komisiju, kas sniedz ļoti nozīmīgu atbalstu, lai mūsu konferences, mūsu diskusijas šeit Rīgā varētu notikt, un visiem runātājiem, visiem moderatoriem, ziņotājiem un dalībniekiem, ka jūs atbraucāt. Un bijāt šeit, netālu no Eiropas Savienības austrumu robežas, jo ir tomēr svarīgs arī leņķis, rakurs, ģeogrāfija, no kuras vietas mēs paskatāmies uz Eiropas kopīgajām problēmām un meklējam Eiropai kopīgos risinājumus. Es domāju, pati līdzdalība šeit ļāva mums labāk saskatīt arī tos specifiskos izaicinājumus, kāda ir tieši šeit Baltijas valstīs, un virzīt šos jautājumus uz priekšu arī tātad gan direktīvas pārskatīšanas, gan direktīvas grozīšanas procesā, jo šķiet arī par to šeit iezīmējās ļoti skaidrs konsens, ka tomēr ir nepieciešama direktīvas grozīšana, ņemot vērā tās izmaiņas mediju vidē, kas ir notikuši, un zināmā mērā, es teiktu, arī tās izmaiņas, kas ir ģeopolitiskajā drošības vidē notikuši, kas notiek apkārt Eiropas Savienībai. Bet paliekot uzticīgiem savām eiropeiskām vērtībām, principiem un kopīgiem risinājumiem. Un pašās beigās es gribu pateikt paldies cilvēkiem diviem no katras institūcijas. Ja man jāizvēlās viens, tas ir Andris Mēlakauls no kultūras ministrijas, bez kura nebūtu šī konference pat īsti iespējama, un tā ir Agnese Berga no mūsu Nacionālās elektronisko plašsaziņas līdzekļu padomes, kura bija šīs konferences koordinātori. Arī bez viņas šī konference nebūtu iespējama. Bet tāpat arī bez visiem pārējiem jums un arī bez tulkiem, kuriem arī speciāla pateicība, arī tieši par šīs vienīgās runas latviešu valodā tulkošanu ieskaitot. Paldies, uz redzēšanos!